Tonight on the Northwestern News Report.
Congressional representation in the classroom. An Illinois Congresswoman visits Medill.
Northwestern's multi-billion-dollar fundraiser is ahead of schedule.
And a famous comedian entertained Northwestern students Saturday night.
All those stories and more
coming up next on the Northwestern News Report. It's your news right now. Welcome to the Northwestern News Report. I'm Sydney Allman.
And I'm Jamie Leventhal. Thanks for joining us tonight. We begin tonight with a story many wouldn't have expected a year ago. Just minutes after Donald Trump clinched victory in the South Carolina Republican primary, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush declared he would be suspending his campaign for the GOP nomination. The week leading up to the primary included appearances by older brother and former President George W. Bush. But it just wasn't enough of a push for Jeb. Bush came in fourth behind Trump, Senator Ted Cruz, and Senator Marco Rubio, with just under 8% of the vote.
On the other side of the country, the two remaining Democratic candidates fought it out in the Nevada caucuses. Hillary Clinton ultimately took home the win, beating rival Bernie Sanders by 5 points. Clinton assembled a broad coalition of voters for her 53% of the vote, drawing together minority groups and casino workers, among others. Sanders, however, wasn't ready to call his loss a loss, saying, quote, "The wind is at our back," end quote. The win in Nevada gives the Clinton campaign momentum going into Saturday's South Carolina primary.
And a campaign trail came a little closer to the campus this weekend. U.S. House Representative Cheri Bustos paid a visit to Peter Slevin's political reporting class in Fisk Hall yesterday. NNN's Eric Miller joins us in the studio with more. Eric, what can you tell us about Representative Bustos' visit?
Well, Jamie, Representative Bustos spoke on a wide array of topics, everything from the 2016 election to her old career as a journalist in the Quad Cities. Bustos spent her first 30 minutes having an informal, off-the-record discussion with students, followed by a more formal Q&A moderated by Peter Slevin. Bustos stressed the importance of journalism today and the way journalism skills can be applied across a variety of fields. She also critiqued the lack of bipartisanship in Washington and the treatment of female candidates on the campaign trail.
The scrutiny of whether it be Hillary Clinton or, for that matter, any woman candidate, how she dresses, I can tell you it's scrutinized at a very different and deeper level. A woman's hairstyle, I think there's a little bit of a deeper level of that scrutiny on a female candidate.
Bustos, who represents a narrow band of western and northern Illinois, will be facing an election herself this fall.
A new Evanston field office for presidential candidate Bernie Sanders opened Thursday on Dempster Street. The office will reach out to Evanston, Skokie, and parts of North Chicago to gather support for Sanders' campaign. Supporters in the area volunteer by signing up for shifts at the phone bank and canvassing. Evanston resident Jerry Hausman said the new office makes it convenient for him to participate in the campaign.
I was very pleased to see the Bernie Sanders campaign headquarters here, and have been happy to give them some of my artwork for display. You know, as time goes on, in my old age, I find it more difficult to participate fully in campaigns, but having done so in the past, I'm pleased that I can do so again.
The field office will be open every day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. until the Illinois primary on March 15th.
For students trying to get around the area, Uber is often their ride of choice. But after one of the popular car services drivers allegedly shot and killed 6 in Kalamazoo, Michigan Saturday, new questions about Uber's safety standards arise. According to CNN, a source says the alleged killer, Jason Dalton, even picked up Uber passengers in between shootings throughout the night. In a statement released Sunday, Uber said it was thinking of the families of the victims and, quote, "We have reached out to police to help with their investigation in any way that we can."
Coming up, a look at Northwestern's We Will campaign and how the funds will affect student life after the break.
I'm Caitlin Boudreau, and coming up, I'll have your 5-day weather forecast.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
we'll cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Hello, I'm Caitlin Boudreau, and this is your 5-day weather forecast. Tomorrow it will be snowing and windy with a high of 38 degrees and a low of 28. Thursday will be more of the same with a high 33 and a low of 27. Friday will be mostly cloudy with a high of 36 and a low of 30. Enjoy the warm but windy weather on Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 49 and a low of 37. And save the homework for Sunday as we're looking for a high of 47 with rain showers all day. The low will be 25. I'm Caitlin Boudreau, and this has been your 5-day weather forecast.
Northwestern's We Will campaign, the massive fundraising drive that began 2 years ago, has been a huge success. In fact, it's ahead of schedule. NNN's Hannah Bolaños has more.
Northwestern's We Will campaign has raised $2.77 billion as of January 2016, putting it roughly a year and a half ahead of its $3.75 billion goal. The money raised will go towards various university projects, and for Northwestern's president, Morton Shapiro, improving student life is a priority.
Replacing loans with grants and just cutting the net price for more and more of our students is really important to me, and that's why I think one reason why we've allocated so much of the money to undergraduate financial aid. I think there's actually a lot of things that would directly affect student life. You know, many students, the Kresge building will be open soon. And that's going to be a wonderful new home for the humanities, and that's basically came from the campaign, as did the Ryan Center for the Musical Arts. So anybody in Beanon has had their life transformed by that.
Dorena Buffett gave an individual donation of $100 million to the Buffett Institute for Global Studies. Bruce Carruthers, the Institute's director, says the gift has allowed them to expand in multiple areas.
It was transformational. It's a gift that was marked by the fact that we used to be called the Buffett Center, and we became the Buffett Institute. We were able to start doing different things right away. We wanted to do sort of an across-the-board expansion.
A portion of Buffett's generous donation will provide financial aid to the participants of the Global Engagement Studies Institute program, as well as to international undergraduates.
In the long run, that will have an interesting impact on the campus because we'll just have a greater diversity of undergrads.
Some students have more creative ideas about what the money raised should go toward.
Personally, I'd enjoy a tunnel from Norris to the library so that you don't have to go outside when you need coffee.
President Shapiro expects the campaign's success to continue.
People love Northwestern, so they like the support, they love our students, they love our programs, and I think we have a reputation that when we raise money, we deliver. You have a great product, people want to buy a piece of it, and that's what's happened.
Hannah Bolaños, Northwestern News Report.
President Shapiro also says he hopes the campaign will further exceed its goals in the coming year.
What do you want to see NU do with all that money? We found out on this week's edition of Rock Talk.
I'm in the dance department, and I think there's a lot of money that could go towards the arts that is already in the school. But I mean, I think it's really important that as a university we keep on growing and building up.
They want to make the school better, but I'm not really going to see any of the benefits of it. I'm actually seeing more problems. They shut down the basketball courts at SPAC and the track and the soccer field, so it kind of is detracting from there, and there's a lot of construction going on campus.
So what I think about the We Will campaign is I feel that there isn't enough information, and I don't know who the beneficiaries are or the exact components of the We Will campaign.
I kind of feel like Northwestern has a lot of money already, so I'm not really sure exactly what it's for, but I guess it's a cool thing.
If you have an idea for Rock Talk, tweet at us at NNN_news.
Northwestern's Center for Awareness, Response, and Education, known as CARE, will use a $300,000 grant from the U.S. Department of Justice to fund educational programs. These will help students reevaluate the ways they think about gender. Northwestern's CARE is a service provider for survivors of sexual trauma. The center plans to update a variety of its programs over the remainder of the school year. Paul Eng, coordinator of men's engagement at CARE, is launching NU Men, a 6-week program designed to allow men to consider and challenge their roles in society. Eng will also work with IFC fraternity members and Men Against Rape and Sexual Assault to discuss topics like masculinity and violence.
A traditional masculinity being stuff like being tough, being stoic, not crying, all those kind of things. Like, if we're thinking about changing those things, what are we replacing it with? What are we thinking about being a healthier masculine, or how are we redefining masculinity?
CARE plans to collaborate with other nonprofit organizations in an effort to launch additional programs.
Northwestern's Office of Health and Wellness Promotion has launched a new marketing campaign to change freshmen' perceptions about alcohol. NNN's Margaret Corrin has more.
New posters are peppering Northwestern's Evanston campus, part of a larger initiative that Health and Wellness Promotion Director Lisa Curry says will tackle high-risk drinking at NU.
It's really using those sort of advertising techniques. Instead of selling a product, though, we're selling an idea and challenging people's thinking.
Campus health officials initially became concerned with freshman drinking habits upon receiving data from a freshman-wide survey indicating that alcohol consumption increased within the first 6 weeks of fall quarter.
Students may think that drinking, the high-risk drinking rate on campus is this high. Well, not everybody is experiencing those things, but because they're so visible and people tend to talk about them, we see this really high belief that this is what most people are doing.
Students like Weinberg freshman Amanda Rosner remain less convinced of the campaign's effectiveness.
If it's for the well-being of students, you might as well try it. But I think that students are less inclined to take advice from a poster as they are from a program.
The officials hope that changing the campus dialogue surrounding alcohol consumption will change students' behavior.
We may eventually get to the point of doing more like giveaways and swag and things that hold a message that students might carry with them rather than just randomly seeing a poster by chance.
While the initiative currently targets freshmen, officials hope to expand their reach to the entire community. Margaret Corn, Northwestern News Report.
The Health and Wellness Promotion Department will soon be launching the Core Survey, the second part of the initiative. For this, a small group of students will be invited to fill out a questionnaire about their drinking habits.
Coming up, Northwestern's tennis team gets tech savvy with the use of a new program.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Northwestern announced today that comedian Seth Meyers will deliver the 2016 commencement address this June. The famous host of NBC's late-night talk show graduated from the Northwestern School of Communication in 1996. Since then, Meyers has worked as the head writer for Saturday Night Live, received an Emmy Award, and has been named one of Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People. Myers is among 5 distinguished individuals who will be presented with honorary degrees at the commencement ceremony on June 17th, according to the university.
The annual Wild and Scenic Film Festival, hosted by the Evanston Environmental Association, took place this month at the Evanston Ecology Center. NNN's Missy Chen was at the screenings.
The Wild and Scenic Film Festival was started in 2003 by the South Yuba River Citizens League in Nevada City, California. Each winter, the California-based festival screens over 100 award-winning films, which are sent to communities nationwide. The Evanston Environmental Association, a nonprofit that has promoted environmental education and action since 1976, exhibits these films annually. According to Dick Peach, president of the association, the event has been well received over the past years.
We pay to have access to, I think, about 40 films or 50 films, but they're all about the same theme, which is environmental activism. And then we select the films that we can show over 2 nights. Both nights this year were sold out completely.
The films are on topics ranging from climate change to biodiversity to wildlife protection. Lauren Marquise Vissel, an Evanston resident, said one of the films moved her to tears.
Denali we just saw with, it was told from the point of view of the dog about his owner, and it was beautifully done. It was only 8 minutes, but it was very powerful.
Allison Harper, who came to the event with her daughter, connected with the way the films brought together a wide audience for a common cause.
The message that I especially took away from was to be active in protecting our earth and our environment. There was a diverse audience here, and young and old people alike can make a difference.
Missy Chen, Northwestern News Network.
The Wild and Scenic Film Festival will return to Evanston next year.
Northwestern tennis players are hitting it off with some changes on the tennis court. NNN's Michelle Beck has more.
Meet PlaySight, the newest addition to the Northwestern tennis team. A video review and analytics technology for tennis players, this sophisticated system can live stream and provide multi-angle replays through 6 cameras surrounding every court.
I find the video very helpful for me because I learn very well watching myself. I can see where I'm standing in the court position-wise, my technique, and just kind of like shot selection choices like that.
But PlaySight offers more than just video replays. Kiosks stationed at every court provide detailed analyses in stroke type, ball trajectory, and in-depth shot data, amongst other things. Women's tennis head coach Claire Pollard delivers statistics processed by the system to our athletes.
I think it helps from a coaching perspective to have some hard and fast facts to present to the girls.
Even without coaches, athletes can log into the system and review their performances after every game and practice.
I think the biggest advantage is we get instantaneous feedback for our players after a particular match, so they can view their match immediately upon completion, and we have live statistics that are very helpful.
According to men's tennis team co-captain Feder Bave, it's still too early to see how much of a difference PlaySight will make.
We play hard every day. Has it had an impact? Probably. But how much? I don't really know.
Nevertheless, coaches encourage anyone interested in tennis to make most out of this system. Michelle Beck, Northwestern News Network.
Northwestern is one of the 12 colleges in the country that uses PlaySight. And coming up, we'll take a look at how the Cats fared this week.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win
Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back. Basketball, baseball, and softball, oh my. All these teams were in action this past week.
Ari Ross joins us with more on all things Cats.
Thanks, Jamie. We'll start in the hardwood where Northwestern women's basketball visited Wisconsin on Saturday to take on the Badgers, looking to break a 4-game losing streak. Let's get right to the highlights.
Cats facing off against the Badgers for the first time this season. Early on, Maggie Lyon misses the 3, but Palace Kunai-Akpana is there for the offensive rebound and putback, and the Cats lead early 2-0. Later on, Kayla McMorris misses the jumper, but Nia Coffey is there for the rebound, and she'll take it coast to coast, giving the Cats a 4-point lead. Midway through the second quarter now, Jordan Hankins gets to the basket and one, and Northwestern leads 33-27 at half. Third quarter now, Ashley Deary finds Kristen Inman on the break for the lay-in, and Northwestern builds its lead up to 12. Now Nia Coffey with the 3, forcing Wisconsin to take a timeout. Palace Kunai-Akpana off the pick and roll, lays it up and in. She finished the game with a double-double. Now Akpana again with the rebound. She finds Deary with the outlet pass, and Deary will take it to the rack, giving the Cats their biggest lead of the game. Northwestern would dribble this one out, and the Cats win this one 71-53, ending a 4-game losing streak. With the win, the Cats moved to 15-13 on season, and as we speak, they are in action against the Michigan Wolverines at Welsh Ryan Arena. The Cats currently trail the Wolverines 70-65 with under a minute left in the fourth quarter. Moving on to the Diamond now, while it may still be chilly in Evanston, both Northwestern baseball and softball teams were in action this weekend. Baseball started its season off with a bang, winning the first 2 games of the Spencer Allen era before dropping the next 2 to split the series against Nevada. The Cats won their first 2 games against Nevada on Friday, 5-1 and 4-2, before dropping their next Saturday and Sunday contests 11-2 and 10-6. Matt Hoffner led the Cats over the weekend, hitting .455 with 2 doubles, 1 triple, 2 runs, and 1 RBI. On the mound, Tommy Bordignon and Joe Schindler picked up wins for the Cats, striking out 6 batters apiece, while Hoffner and Pete Hoffman each picked up saves in the Cats' victories. Now on the other side of the diamond, Northwestern softball finished 2-2 in the inaugural Big Ten ACC Challenge, splitting its 2-game series against Boston College and North Carolina. The Wildcats lost their first game against the Tar Heels on Friday, 5-2, but came back on Saturday to win their next 2. On Saturday, the Cats beat Boston College 4-3 and UNC 11-8 before falling to the Eagles on Saturday 3-2. Andrea Filler led the Cats over the weekend, hitting .538 over the 4-game stretch with 4 doubles, a home run, and 3 RBIs. But the highlight of the weekend has to be Morgan Nelson's walk-off grand slam home run in the bottom of the 7th inning, giving NU an 11-8 win over the Tar Heels on Saturday. Both teams resume play this weekend in California.
Coming up, Hannibal Burris brings down the house at NU.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Steger Concert Hall shook with laughter on Saturday night as Northwestern welcomed comedian Hannibal Buress to campus. Buress, a Chicago native, took the stage as A&O Productions' winter speaker, joking about everything from Kanye West's new album to Rahm Emanuel's time as mayor. He even poked fun at Northwestern, but still gained positive reception from students. Freshman David Lattimore said the performance was even better than he expected.
I came in pretty skeptical because I hadn't heard too much about Hannibal Buress. I hadn't watched any of his stand-ups or anything like that. But he was actually pretty funny, and I definitely did enjoy myself. He kept making this joke about this Kanye song that I've been listening to heavily the last couple days, and just him being able to take like things that college kids are interested in and just make light of them is actually just a cool.
If you missed this event, don't worry. A&O plans to welcome more performers in campus this spring. So Sydney, if you were to pick another NU alum to come visit us for commencement, who would you pick? Because Seth Meyers is obviously off the table.
Okay, I would definitely pick Julia Louis-Dreyfus. What about you, Ari?
I gotta go with Mike Greenberg.
Personally, I would say Zach Braff, but I don't know if anyone would like that as well.
I mean, Seth Meyers is pretty great, but that's all we have for you on this edition of the Northwestern News Report.
I'm Jamie Leventhal.
And I'm Ari Ross for sports.
And I'm Sydney Allman. Thanks for joining us.